Welcome to CryptoWise. We got another exciting episode of CryptoWise chats for you today. Today we are chatting with Yaron Velner. He is the CEO of B.Protocol. He is the ex-CTO of Kyber Network. This guy knows his stuff. He has a computer science PhD from Tel Aviv University, so we are going to learn a lot today. He's definitely much smarter than I am, so I'm excited to talk to Yaron about B.Protocol. Hello, Yaron. Thank you for joining us today. Pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. Excited to be here.
So as I teased there in my intro, you used to be the CTO of Kyber Network. Kyber Network is, kind of one of the OG DeFi platforms. Everyone knows Kyber Network. And so when I heard that you had branched out and were starting your own protocol, B.Protocol, I had to learn about this project because clearly you are a serious mind here in crypto, and I'm really excited about learning about this. I'm actually coming to this a bit new myself. I just learned about B.Protocol a couple of days ago, and we got you onto the program. So I'm going to be learning as our audience learns today about it. So why don't we start? Can you just give us kind of the very quick and dirty of what B.Protocol is and why you were inspired to start your own project here?
So maybe first of all, a bit background on myself and the context of how it all started. So I'm actually collaborating with Kyber guys, even before Kyber Network. During my PhD, we did the first project together, which eventually kind of spin off into Kyber Network. And then around 2019, we started, to run our own liquidation bots in DeFi. DeFi was very small back then. It was like the peak of the bear market. And B.Protocol is actually kind of a spin-off and another, like a form of collaboration with Kyber Network, who did the first investment in the protocol. So I'm still, very much in touch with Kyber people. This is a spin-off that while Kyber was aiming to do a decentralized exchange, here what in B.Protocol we try to aim is to actually make lending platforms more efficient, more capital efficient, and more democratic in some sense.
Yeah, so I want to get a sense of so just so people understand B.Protocol here. So you might know the lending platforms Compound, you might know the lending platform MakerDAO. So B.Protocol is actually a platform that can help you use those platforms and get kind of a much more out of it. And we're going to find out exactly what you'll get out of it by using B.Protocol instead of using those platforms directly. So let's just maybe, for those people watching who don't know about Compound and MakerDAO yet, essentially these are platforms that people can either lend out their assets and get paid interest for that, or people can borrow those assets and pay interest on that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And then, like kind of DeFi, little dirty secret is what happens, when your debt outweighs your collateral, right? And this is where we kick in.
Okay, so you would kick in, you would kick in. So if I'm using Compound, say, are you kicking in for the people who are lending their assets to Compound or the people who are borrowing those assets, or both?
Yes, so kind of both. And, we kind of have actually two products now, which is a bit confusing. But let's focus on Maker and Compound. So if you are a borrower on either of them, we kick in at the point where liquidations happen. And unlike other projects, our main selling point is that we actually let our users enjoy and to get a cut of the liquidations in these platforms.
I see. So maybe we should, sorry to interrupt, we should probably explain for some people who don't understand the terminology of what liquidation means. Can you explain to us what you mean when you say liquidation?
Yeah, definitely. So as a user, right? So you deposit some collateral, say on Compound, and then you borrow a different asset, right? Now the price of these two assets vary over time, and at certain point, you might get to a point where your debt is actually higher than your collateral.
Right.
As everything here is P2P and fully anonymous, what this platform tries to guarantee is that you will actually get liquidated before this is happening, right? And the stability of all of these platforms heavily relies on like efficient liquidations and that people will liquidate you on time. So if you want to take the analogy of a mortgage rate, right? Mortgage rate. So at certain point, if you don't pay your debt, they will come and take your house.
Right.
Now, in DeFi, of course, right, having no identity, so all this process has to be fully permissionless, fully on-chain via smart contract. So liquidation is effectively repaying under collateralized debt, and in return, the guy who repaid the debt get the user collateral with a premium.
I see.
Without it, lending platforms are not secure. DeFi is at risk, and this is not only a theoretical problem. We all remember the so-called Black Thursday around months of March at 2020, right, where MakerDAO went under a lot of liquidations, which were effectively not executed. So this will periodically happen, and it has major effects on DeFi. So what we offer here is a platform that both, kind of increase the profits for the user or increase the utility he gets from these lending platforms, and in addition, we aim to make these platforms also more stable. Right, so we benefit also with the users, also with the underlying platforms.
Right. So from a platform's perspective, for Compound and for MakerDAO, those are the two that you work with right now, but you're going to be expanding out to other ones, I imagine, and we can talk about that. But from their perspective, I guess they're really happy that you're building this if platforms like yours can secure these DeFi platforms, make them more efficient. So it's not like you're in competition with them. You're actually helping the ecosystem, and I'm sure they're happy that you're offering this.
And with MakerDAO, we even their DAO recently voted in favor of actually making this collaboration more official, and we are actually now kind of integrating the process of integrating natively with MakerDAO, to make their system even more efficient. And actually, so you mentioned Maker and Compound, but right now our main focus is we have another integration which is with Liquity. So Liquity offers the LUSD stablecoin. So there we only handle liquidations, and we offer users kind of democratic way of participating in liquidations.
Sorry, I just wanted to. So you have Compound, you have MakerDAO, and now you have Liquity. And Liquity is I had never actually heard of Liquity, so that's awesome. I'm gonna have to look into them. And you're saying they have a stable coin there, the LUSD stable coin?
And with Liquity, it's a new flavor, a new kind of integration, which we are now working also with a different set of platforms to have a similar integration. So with Liquity, what is happening is that we actually assist in the liquidation process, but not only that we assist, we allow all of our users to automatically take part in the liquidation process there, which means two things for the user. First of all, the actual liquidation come with some profit, and in addition, Liquity has their own protocol incentive for those who stake funds towards liquidations.
Right.
So with B.Protocol combining with Liquity, users can get around 15% API in a passive manner, and most of this incentive comes from Liquity protocol itself. So this is kind of the new vision that we offer, for lending platforms and where we are aiming next. So as I mentioned, MakerDAO, the DAO itself already voted to let us build something similar like that for MakerDAO. Recently also the meme token governance voted for us to do similar thing for them. And we have also other platforms in the pipeline, that are waiting for similar integrations. So right now we are mostly focused on the liquidation process.
Right. And okay, so so for me, say if I'm a user, because I have used these platforms before, if I'm a user and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to use, say, Compound, I'm going to lend them a bit of my things as collateral, and then I'm going to maybe need to borrow some on the other side. Instead of going directly to Compound, I can just come to you, set up an account with you, set up through my MetaMask, set up with B.Protocol, and you'll manage that for me instead of going to Compound. That's right.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, So currently, what you can do, you go to our website, you manage it via our interface, and then in return, we share the liquidation proceeds with you.
Right.
So this is your incentive, to go to our website.
Okay, so I just want to understand a bit more about this liquidation. I understand what liquidation is, but how do you profit on it? So if are you helping, say I have money on Compound and I'm about to get liquidated, do you help me? If I'm using B.Protocol, do you help me in that situation, or?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So what we help is that, when our users get liquidated, so we don't help with the actual liquidation. What we help is to share the liquidation profits to all of our users.
So if someone else gets liquidated.
Yeah, if someone else gets liquidated, you get, all our users get a portion of the profits there. And right now, if you refresh the website, the TVL right now is about $100 million, not $21 million.
Oh, okay. There. Oh, it's still going. Oh, this is just because these are the different ones you're talking maybe in total.
Just click.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Actually, it's. Oh. Okay. Anyway, so we just help you kind of to get more out of Maker and out of Compound.
Right.
But again, our vision is, and now we are working with it, with Maker and others, is that we actually, in the future, we will be just part of Maker, and you will not have to go to our website, but actually you will just use Maker protocol.
Oh, okay.
And under the hood, we will be there.
Interesting.
That's what we aim next. Yeah.
So is that the long-term vision for all of these, working in how it would work with all of these platforms? Is that you would just be?
That's kind of that's the long-term vision, and as I mentioned. So it depends on collaboration with the other platforms, and we already have this kind of approval from the MakerDAO, who kind of vetoed us in a governance vote and let us, give us this green light to have this native integration.
Wow.
You have meme stablecoin, which is huge, already voted to include us. And we are working also with other platforms on that. Yeah. So kind of the one was kind of like to have our own website, kind of show that we are up to it. But like the long-term vision is to be inside these protocols. Users will not even have to know that we are there, and we just make them kind of more secure from the inside, and we let the users share the profits from there.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is incredible. So we're just looking at your website here, the homepage here. So I just, I'm curious. So we see that if you use B.Protocol, 25% goes to the user. And then you have this great graphic here that if you don't use it, then it's going to the miner. Can you explain that? So who is the miner that is getting the profit now versus if B.Protocol is involved, then it goes to the user?
Yeah, so here this is the profit in the liquidation process.
Right.
So the way liquidations are currently handled, for example, if you take Compound, right? So you have a liquidation, Compound offer 5 to 8% premium on the liquidation process. So most of the time you just have, you have this 5% that are just given away to the first person who execute the transaction, right? So this person will typically will do some kind of flash loan from Uniswap, will repay the debt, immediately dump the collateral on Uniswap, and it's kind of risk-free, 5% profit. However, because it's risk-free, what will typically happen is that there will be, kind of a gas auction, and people will pay a lot of gas in order to be the first to execute it there. So what happens is that effectively, we put this number 25% when we went live. Now it's way over 50%.
Oh, wow.
So way over 50% of the proceeds, go to the miners in the form of expensive gas payment, right, to be the first to liquidate. And now you could argue that, like as a lending platform, I don't really care if the proceeds go to the miner or to the liquidator, as long as the liquidation is being executed. However, the bottom line here is that liquidators are not incentivized at all to perform the liquidation. And this is how you end up with a Black Thursday event where no one will execute the liquidations.
Right.
So this will work. Right, so this is what will happen, like in times of crisis. So what we offer is kind of a protocol that incentivizes both liquidators and the users.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And eventually, and it has to come on the expense of someone. So the expense here is, it's on the expense of miners.
Of the miners.
So we eliminate.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
No, finish your thought.
So we eliminate kind of the competition between the liquidators, and we're kind of forming them, like kind of a cartel of liquidators or a DAO of liquidators, if you will, and then all the profits go to the liquidators. We share some of them with the users.
Great. Yeah, no, I love these sort of projects. Just found a bit of a way to do something very simple. Obviously complex, what you're building is super complex, but it's so easy to understand that you're providing kind of the value that you're providing for both the platforms and the users. So simple, but so brilliant at the same time. And so, yeah, this is really exciting to find out about. So I'm curious, so a lot of these dApps that you're working with, the compounds and MakerDAOs and all that, we're talking about Ethereum here. So I'm guessing that you work on Ethereum right now. Are you, as they go to other chains, like Polygon or others, are you going to be able to work with them on other chains?
Yeah. So the the protocol itself is kind of a blockchain agnostic. We do plan actually to go live over Polygon as well. And actually, liquidations are even kind of harder problem or like more sensitive issue in side chains where liquidity is even thinner, right? So we are even kind of needed more in other blockchains. So we are definitely planning to expand beyond Ethereum. And right now, as I mentioned, it's mostly about integrating these projects and protocols from within. We already have one project over Polygon that will include us there. So we'll definitely go to Polygon, and in the future probably for other side chains or L1s as well.
Right. Do they have to, at this point, I guess you're looking mostly at the Ethereum compatible chains, the EVMs, as opposed
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we are still, the kind of a small team. So we have to be, our team only writes Solidity at this point, and we are only working with EVM compatible chains.
Awesome. Yeah. So we're looking right now in your docs. You have these kind of ecosystem dApp here, and you've got logos from different platforms like DeFi Llama and DeFi Pulse, Zapper, Zarian. How are you working with some of these other platforms like these ones?
Yeah. So Zapper, DeFi Llama, DeFi Pulse, they mostly kind of track RTVL and statistics, but the other integrations are kind of more interesting. And actually, even this slide is not fully updated because since then we had more integrations. So we are featured in other front-end, recently InstaDApp, but also DeFi Saver, Pickle, Fork Combo, NPH 88 is another new integration. So like they all kind of integrated with us, and either in the smart contract level, where they smart contract level, deposit at our contracts, or in the front-end level, where, for example, InstaDApp and DeFi Saver just kind of give interface for users to deposit at our platform. With Pickle, we also have kind of interesting integration where they kind of have this auto compounding and auto harvesting of profits on top of us. So overall, we are working with a lot of projects, and we already had 4 DAOs that approved integration with us. So some of them are not DAOs, but we had
Right.
We had been voted by InstaDApp DAO, B0X DAO, Maker DAO, Meme, the Spell DAO. So we are working very closely with other DAOs.
That's exciting. That's super exciting. Yeah, in a way, I guess it must be a bit of a domino effect. Like now that some of these are integrating what you're offering, the other ones are going to have to keep up. I mean, otherwise they're going to fall behind in terms of the kind of service that they're offering.
Yeah, so integrating with more DAOs, it's definitely it's both challenging but also very satisfying, and kind of see how other DAOs behave. Try to kind of sell our value proposition to other DAOs. So yeah, I mean, and once you get integrated, you kind of stick for a long time. So yeah, I mean, it's very challenging, very effort consuming, but at the end very rewarding. Also at the protocol level.
I bet. And you said that you've been working on this since 2019. So while the rest of us were just looking at our portfolios and crying every day, you were actually doing something, getting up and actually building the future. Good for you. So you've been working on this since 2019. Where do you think that, I'm curious from your perspective, someone who is so in the DeFi space, where do you think we are with DeFi? Where do you see DeFi going, say, 2-3 years from now? Where do you think DeFi is big picture?
Yeah, so first of all, it's very exciting. I've been in DeFi already since 2017 or so. Even in 2017 was huge. But still, so tokens were, very high, but no one actually used DeFi. And now not only, prices are high, but also you have actual users, and a lot of them, who use you daily, and also, use it with a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think moving forward, I think DeFi still has a lot of inefficiencies, especially around capital efficiency. And moving forward, our main vision is not only to take some profits from the miner, but actually improve the capital efficiency across all DeFi, where liquidations, are the key component for such for such efficiency. And with in the standard market.
And with what you're building, there's a lot of talk right now about regulation, people being scared about regulation, especially in DeFi. Does that concern you at all? Where are you at with if regulation is going to either help or hinder the innovation around DeFi?
Yeah, no, so as a protocol, what we are working on, our main focus is to build a permissionless protocol. Also, our main focus, as a vision, is mostly to be kind of like DAO to DAO, right? So, our DAO will interact with the other DAOs. We have a very, also live community who participate in the DAO votes. We actually announced that the team will not participate in the DAO votes. So our motto is to be fully permissionless. We have a community that help us run it, and over time we'll probably take bigger part in the management and everything. So this is mostly where we stand. But yeah, we, our focus is in permissionless protocol rather than spending effort on compliance, etc. Which eventually we think there'll be additional layers in DeFi that will take care of compliance.
Right. So we should spend a minute here talking about your token. It's we got the BPRO token. We're looking at the chart right here. So this is mostly a governance token. Is there any utility to it, or is it mostly governance?
Yeah, no, so at this point, it's only governance. Yeah, so yeah, so it's governance. It's there was never an ICO. It's only been distributed to our users. Actually, it's an interesting story because we were live about 6 months with a non-transferable governance token that people could vote but could not transfer their voting rights. And then what actually happened is the community decided to vote on tokenizing, the voting rights and making it transferable. So it's a pure governance token. The community has some decisions on how to take, some cuts of the value proposition. But we as the development focus on the protocol itself. We do see a lot of value proposition that we can offer to the DeFi community in capital efficiency, unlocking a lot of use cases. Once you have B.Protocol integrated, like in lending platforms, synthetic assets, etc. And eventually it will be up to our community to, to see if they want to take some cut from this value proposition or do something else.
And where is the token available right now? It's on Uniswap.
Yeah, on Uniswap and maybe other dexes. Yeah, I mean, we, as a team, we are not actively. I mean, it's not only, as a team, we never to this point raised money in return to this token, so we cannot even push it. So it's mostly been pushed by the community. Liquidity is provided by the community. So yes, it's only Uniswap and a bit on SushiSwap.
Right. Well, I mean, from our perspective, though, our audience is going to want to know where this is because we're degen investors. And when we have people like you on who are building the future, who are as smart as you are building these amazing platforms, we want to ride on your coattails by buying your token. So that's where we come in. But I'm curious, does B.Protocol get any profit or revenue from what they're doing with the platforms? So when the user gets a certain amount of revenue from the liquidations, does B.Protocol keep a bit of that to run the platform?
Yeah, so the protocol has a fee switch, but it requires a governance vote to enable it. And so far the community didn't vote to enable it. So at this point, everything is with zero fees.
Okay. Well, this has been really amazing, Yaron Velner, CEO of B.Protocol. I love what you're building here. As I said to early in this interview, I'm learning about this. The last couple of days is when I've been introduced to this project, but the more I learn about it, the more I am interested in it. It's clearly solving a problem within DeFi right now, and it looks like people are catching on to how important this could be to have as part of their platform. So thank you so much for making the time to chat with us. We really look forward to watching the progress of B.Protocol.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys.